In this video, we'll open SPSS and import the Microsoft Excel workbook file we prepared in a previous video. I'm going to open SPSS now, and by default, the first screen which appears is the SPSS data editor. The first window which appears asks, "What would you like to do?" And we're offered several choices. Of these choices, the two that are most likely to be chosen are type in data, where you would enter data yourself, or open an existing data source, where you already have a file with data in it and you want to open it for analysis in SPSS. In this case, we have previously prepared a Microsoft Excel workbook file called Voter. We saved it in the Documents folder, and we would like to open it for analysis. Let's click OK to open an existing data source, and we're brought to the Open File window. By default, this version of SPSS looks in a folder called SPSS Student for files to open. We saved the Voter file in a folder called Documents. Let's click this PC. Let's find the Documents folder. There it is. And let's open the Documents folder by double-clicking. And here are the contents of the Documents folder. Now, we know we saved the Microsoft Excel workbook file Voter in this folder, but it doesn't show. That's because SPSS looks for files with an SAV extension. It will open these files by default or automatically. Microsoft Excel attaches an XLS extension to files. Therefore, the type of file we want to open is an Excel XLS file. When we click on the down arrow at the end of the Files of Type field, we are presented with a list of the types of files that SPSS will open. If I click on Excel, note the name of the file Voter appears in the Documents folder. If I click on the Voter file, it now appears in the File Name field along with the XLS extension, and we're ready to open it. I click Open, and I get the Opening Excel Data Source window. SPSS will read the variable names from the first row of data. Recall in the previous video, we indicated that the file contained variables such as the presidential candidate for whom respondents voted in 2012, the respondents' ages, the respondents' education, the respondents' sex, the respondents' annual income. Those variables will be presented in the cells along the top row of the data editor. We will import sheet 1 from the file, and the range of cells will be cell A1 to cell G1501. We could, if we wanted, import part of the file, but we want to most often import the entire file. So we leave the range field blank and we click OK, and there's the file. now that we have the file in SPSS, let's save it, this time as an SPSS file. We'll click File, Save As. Now notice it's going to be in the Documents folder. We're going to save it in the Documents folder. This time we're going to save it with an SAV extension, and let's call it voter as well. If I click Save, I now have in the Documents folder two files. One is voter.xls, that's the original Microsoft Excel workbook file, and voter.sav, which is the SPSS file. That concludes this video, and there will be subsequent videos showing how we can now analyze the data using SPSS.